YouTube? John Arina is back with a second video here. This is a double header, a double feature. My first video saw some of the recent baseball pickups, but I also did mention that I'd be sharing with you what's in this case here. And, when the card market got crazy, I was trying to think of some fun ways that I could stay in the hobby and trying to think of ways that I could make purchases that weren't going to be astronomically expensive, and ways that I could still have fun and collect things that I love and enjoy without breaking the bank. I look at some of these sets that I've been collecting over here. For example, the 56 set that's up here, and looking at the 57 and the 53, and then on the other side of me the 54 and 55 tops, all those sets, and even up here with the some of the play balls and the Gaudies, all these cards, and it's nice to have them now. They're so incredibly valuable, or much more valuable than they had been in the past, but it's just so expensive. And I know I kind of talked about that in my previous video, but like, for example, the 1953 Topps Mantle, I think I paid, for a PSA 2, I paid around, I don't know, $700 for that. And now I think it's going around $2,500, $3,000, depending upon, the buyer, the auction type of thing. And, that's just crazy. I think about that, 33 Gaudi Lou Gehrig, the short print, the 160 that I have. I mean, I've seen prices going anywhere from, $4,000 to $6,000, and I paid $600 for that when I got it, and that was only about 7-8 years ago. So moving along, I just had to figure out some fun ways to stay in the hobby. So, one of the big things about being a guy from Boston is the Red Sox 2004 World Series was a big deal for us, as many of you know. Coming back, down 3-0 to the Yankees in the ALCS, coming back and winning, 4 straight, and then going on to the World Series to beat on St. Louis and win the championship in 2004 was big for the Sox. And for me, it was very memorable, from not only just winning a World Series, but spending time with my dad and going to the games and being able to go to the World Series games. So there's just, all those players are just very, important and special to me and to Red Sox fans. And I thought, why not do a project where I'll try to get every Red Sox player on the World Series team on a 2004 World Series signed baseball. And it was quite a long journey. I think I started right shortly after I made my last video. Again, I think it was, 6 or 9 months ago. I can't recall, but I finally did it. I finally completed it, and it's exciting. So I'll share with you some of these players. And, some of the players you probably didn't even remember, and I didn't even remember some of them at the time. So, moving forward, what I tried to do is get inscriptions with them as well. And right on the top shelf, on the left, was Manny Ramirez, and that was the hardest one. Manny Ramirez was extremely difficult. He's, kind of a weird, he's a strange dude, Manny being Manny, I guess, so to speak. And to try to find a ball with his signature on it that's not only authentic, but also with an inscription, that one took the longest and was the most expensive out of all of them, but still cheaper than, buying a Mantle card these days. So, right here in the middle is a Pokey Reese. Excuse me, the next ball is a Pokey Reese one, and I did that in a private signing. I sent away to do that with a, I don't know what you want to call him, the private signer, a guy who does those things. I forget what the terminology is, but it was supposed to have an inscription on it, and that whole thing was a nightmare, to be honest with you. I was really disappointed because I had 2 inscriptions planned out for that, and he either forgot. The communication sucked, to be honest with you. I won't name any names, but I didn't, when I got the ball back, I didn't even write him back that I was disappointed. I just won't ever work with this guy again. And it was my first time sending in a ball to do a private signing, and I was excited. I thought it was, I had the ball in a month in advance. I had the instructions and everything. I tried to keep open communication and email this guy, and it wasn't until I called him after the signing where honestly, I think he just forgot. And to be quite frank, I don't even think that's the ball that I sent in. I think he just had one lying around with this guy with Pokey Reese's signature on it. And I don't know. I was just really pissed off. And it's not like this was expensive. I mean, I think the ball was $40. To get Pokey to sign it was like 17. Inscriptions were $6. And he sends me the ball back with cash for the inscription. So it was like $12 back for the inscriptions. I was really pissed off about that, to be honest with you. But that's another story for another day. We have Jason Varitek. We have Terry Francona with a great inscription. We have Theo Epstein. We have Mark Bellhorn. I have 3 Mark Bellhorn balls because I kept forgetting that I had him, and I kept thinking that I needed him, so I kept buying Mark Bellhorn balls. Kevin Youkilis, Orlando Cabrera, Gabe Kapler, Tim Wakefield, Schilling, Bronson Arroyo. Really nice Pedro Martinez with an inscription. We have Doug Minkiewicz with the last out inscription. Johnny Damon, Derek Lowe, Mike Myers, Curtis Laskanik, a guy that, Jesus, I forgot all about. Going down a little further here, we have, let's see my camera here. Oh, yeah, Mike Timlin. And we have Keith Folk and Bill Miller, David Ortiz, Dave Roberts, Alan Embry with a pretty detailed inscription, which is great. Down here, we have Trot Nixon, some cool Dirt Dog curse reversed inscriptions. Doug Mirabelli. We have Kevin Millar with the Cowboy Up inscription. Ramiro Mendoza, Dave McCarty. Now, when you look at Ramiro Mendoza, Dave McCarty, and then I also have Louis Tion, who obviously wasn't on the team. I needed to fill it. I might exchange that for a pesky ball, but Dave McCarty and Ramiro Mendoza. Ramiro Mendoza was at least on the ALCS roster, but he was not on the World Series roster. But he was on the team. Dave McCarty had a few impactful games for the Sox during the season, but I needed to kind of fill up the case, so I was trying to pick a few other names that were at least part of the organization. I did a lot of deals through Facebook. There was a gentleman on there, goes by Daniel J.D. He gave me the Pedro ball, the Manny ball, which was huge. And then I dealt with another gentleman who lives here and actually close by to me, who hooked me up with the Trot Nixon and a few other baseballs with the inscriptions on it. So it was a lot of it was fun because I had to search and, a lot of investigative research to try to get certain balls, make sure they're done properly. Because a lot of these guys, like the Laskanik, Curtis Laskanik, and the Pokey Reeses and the Bellhorns, I mean, they're out there, but a lot of these aren't going to be signed through JSA or PSA. They're done through a lot of local signings that during 2004, when malls was still or going to a mall was still a kind of a bigger thing. A lot of the signings were done there, so I had to make sure that these were signed right and they're authentic, and it was a lot of fun. So it was actually a project that kept me busy during the pandemic and past the pandemic, but during that card inflation time, which is still going on. I think it's starting to see a slight decrease, but still pretty big as far as prices are concerned. So at any rate, I'll let you guys go. I appreciate everybody watching as always. Good to be back. Good to share a video. I have watched some of the videos that you guys have been posting. Not a ton, but I have been watching. So hope everybody's well, and I appreciate everybody for watching, and hope everyone was staying healthy through the pandemic. I ended up catching COVID myself, but I'm fine. I had a pretty mild case, so I was lucky. But hope everyone's staying healthy, and we'll see everybody, who knows, sometime down the road. This is Rhino signing off. Take care, guys.